Sentry is going to appear in Doomsday. And this is the part of Doctor Doom's plan without which he cannot create Battleworld. That's because He Who Remains had previously stopped the multiversal war using Sentry, or more precisely, his alter ego Void. You already know that He Who Remains used Alioth as a weapon and kept it imprisoned in a place called the Void, where it wipes out pruned timelines and their remnants. We even see the Void at work in the Thunderbolts movie, at least a version of it. However, here, it is shown in a different way to make it less obvious that the Void is actually Alioth or that it is the key to destroying it. Because Doctor Doom will also have to face Alioth to reach Loki. Now, Doctor Doom may not be able to mind control like Loki, but he can use Sentry to stop Alioth. Additionally, in the recently revealed Secret Wars concept art, you can see a long-haired character bound in chains, who, according to me, could be Sentry. Now, how did Sentry end up here? And how will he be useful to Doctor Doom? Let's break it down. But before that, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss such amazing theories. Let's start with the theory that Sentry is being used as a power source for Battleworld, which is confirmed by this concept art. Some might argue that this is the Marvel 1602 inspired Human Torch, who was placed under a waterfall so he could never flame on. But if you look at the details closely, you'll notice something resembling gauntlets around his hands, something we have never seen in any version of a Human Torch. Even if he wore gloves, none of his versions have ever had gauntlets. Moreover, in the recently released promo, we can see something similar to gauntlets around Sentry's hands, just like in the concept art. So, there's a high chance that this is Sentry. Now, some of you might say that the Russo brothers themselves stated that these concept arts are not from Doomsday or Secret Wars, which is true. But don't you think it's a huge coincidence that they made this statement only after their movie The Electric State received poor reviews and failed to generate buzz? They didn't make this statement when the concept arts first surfaced. In fact, Marvel even removed those posts, and they had to be retrieved from archives and spread again. If these concept arts weren't spoilers, then why were they removed? Plus, these concept arts focused on Doctor Doom, which is a recent development, not something from long ago. This proves that this idea was at least considered, which is why concept artists were instructed to create designs featuring Doom and his council. It's possible that these concept arts were actually meant for the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four, where we would see this chain character having his power drained. This would shock everyone, making them realize that after wreaking havoc in Thunderbolts, Doom has either kept him as a power source or imprisoned him, because both his unstable mind and the Void are threats to Battleworld. Sentry might be seen working alongside Doctor Doom, or even against him, leading to many discussions. And the most interesting part of this discussion is Alioth. Alioth is a smoke-like entity that can only be defeated by mind-controlling characters like Cassandra or Loki. So if Doctor Doom wants to create his home sweet home, i.e. Battleworld, he must first defeat Loki. To reach Loki, he has to face Alioth. And that's where Sentry's other persona, Void, comes into play. Void, like Alioth, is also a smoke-based entity with no fixed form and can take any shape it desires. Moreover, in the Thunderbolts trailer, we see it exposing people's darker selves, which Void can use to defeat Alioth and clear Doctor Doom's path to Loki. Now, the question remains, why would Void help Doctor Doom? Well, my friend, Void represents darkness, and due to the existence of the multiverse, it has weakened and diminished over time. But when Doctor Doom creates Battleworld, Void will regain its lost dominion because there will no longer be a multiverse, only a single Battleworld. Additionally, Doctor Doom can offer something else, freedom from Sentry's body. Just as Banner separated Hulk and Bruce Banner, Doctor Doom could also separate Sentry from Void. That's why Void would help Doctor Doom defeat Alioth and claim the place named after it. This Void is the very place where the TVA prunes everything and dumps it, like a doomsday zone. Ultimately, the Void will be ruled by Sentry's Void. Now think about this. What if this Void is actually Alioth, just with some power upgrades? I'm saying this because He Who Remains mentioned that he found Alioth a weaponized destructive force that only brings chaos and devastation. That sounds exactly like the dark side of Sentry, an entity of pure annihilation. Whenever Sentry exists, the Void exists alongside him. And when the Void is unleashed, it has the power to consume the entire world. Even in the MCU's Loki show, Alioth is shown as a massive smoke monster that erases anything it touches, be it a timeline or an entity. It's an unstoppable force with a tendency to consume everything. Another major similarity is that in the comics, Void's existence is a threat to everything, and the only way to stop it is for Sentry to maintain control over himself. Similarly, in the MCU, the TVA uses Alioth to eliminate unwanted timelines and variants, indirectly showing that it's a tool to maintain balance, just like the connection between Sentry and Void in the comics. Additionally, Doctor Doom can absorb Sentry's powers. While in the comics, Sentry gained his powers due to a different version of the Super Soldier Serum, which also linked him to the Void. The chances of this happening in the MCU are slim. Instead, we might see a mystical angle to Sentry's power origin, making him a prime target or even a chain reaction capable of destroying the multiverse, something Doom could use for his own plans. Now, if we look at the upcoming MCU movies, there are only 3 left where Doctor Doom can be introduced. Captain America 4 is already set, and it might use either Adamantium or the Leader as a key element. Thunderbolts only has Sentry as a potential asset for Doom, since most other characters are just super soldiers, except for Ghost. Fantastic Four is the most likely place where Doom will appear, as it's impossible to have a Fantastic Four movie without Doctor Doom. I'm only mentioning these 3 movies because all previous MCU films were focused on building up Kang, so there was no space for Doctor Doom. But if Doom uses Sentry or Void to create Battleworld, what will be the endgame? Will Sentry remain under Doom's control, or will Void set its own rules? And if Alioth and Void are actually the same entity, then the MCU already has an unstoppable force that can break even the fundamental rules of the multiverse. If this theory holds, then the MCU might be setting up something far bigger than just Kang's multiversal war. The connection between Void, Alioth, and Sentry could introduce a cosmic-level threat that even Doom might struggle to control. If Void truly emerges as an independent force, it could reshape the entire multiverse, potentially leading to a secret war scenario unlike anything we've seen before. This could mean that Doom's real challenge won't just be defeating heroes, but also taming a power that refuses to be controlled. Whether the MCU goes in this direction or not, one thing is clear. Sentry's introduction will shake the very foundations of the universe. What do you think? Could this be the real endgame of Phase 6? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to keep diving into mind-blowing MCU theories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay hydrated and stay happy.